I mean, it's a nice installation. It's nice and neat.
I'm surprised how much room there is still to work and everything.
Yeah, I mean, it's a big engine bay anyway.
Hey, this is our pony car. This is as small as we made at the time.
I mean, look at that. Even the alternator fits, and it's mounted really low. Look at that, and it's still got clearance. I could put my fingers between that and the chassis rail, and it doesn't rock anyway because of those mounts. Those engine mounts are really butch.
It doesn't move like an old school.
No, it doesn't. No. And a load of custom jobs with different engines and all sorts of things. But yeah, this is nice. There's quite a bit of attention to detail as well.
So let's start with the radiator there.
It was a full alley radiator, and obviously they put 2 electric fans, and it's all housed, it's all closed in. It's nice and neatly wired, isn't it?
Yep.
Some good header tanks, size header tanks on there. So I wouldn't have thought you'd have any issues with cooling.
No, it's really quite dialed in on that part
as well. Nice vertical one, so that's lovely. I mean, obviously all the hoses and everything else were new when they put them in. So you've got a braided hose at the top.
Yeah.
That's all okay. You've got your serpentine belt.
I think the biggest accommodation was just getting the oil pan to clear the new K-member, and that clearly has all of its volume put to the rear of the K-member.
Yeah, I mean, there's still a nice gap there. I mean, the engine doesn't move at all on the mounts.
No.
You've still got, you know, what, 10 mil there, so that's nice. And your oil pipes as well, they're all braided.
And so that's not where you change the oil anymore. Now it's on the remote up.
It is, yeah.
There.
That's under here, isn't it? There it is.
I think that's pretty smart, yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty good place to stick it.
It is, so you can get at that quite well.
All right, so let's talk about this independent front suspension. Have you seen the original with the torsion bars that were made for Dodge back in the day?
Did those torsion bars. The last one I did was a 69 Roadrunner.
Oh yeah, so you know that.
Yeah, so I've taken the torsion bars out, turned them around and tightened them up a bit where it's sagged on the driver's side.
Sure.
So yeah, I mean it works, isn't it? But it's old school. I mean this is nice. It's all nice setup, look, isn't it? You've got 4 pots on the front. You've got proper brackets to mount them onto as well.
You know, I've got 6 on the front and 4 on the rear.
On what?
I've got 6. This is a 6-piston brake caliper here.
You've got recesses there. So look. Right, your 2 shapes. It says 6-piston on it.
Yeah, I think it has smaller centers.
Ah, is that why then?
Yep.
Because normally you just go by the 2 shapes on the outside, which would designate where the pistons are. So yeah, there could be one in the middle then. So
Yeah.
what you're saying is you've got 2 on the outside and a smaller one on the middle.
Yeah, the rear is
That's
4.
6 pot. Got ya. Fair enough. It's all Wilwood, look. So that's good.
And we've got urethane bushings on the anti-sway bar here rather than Delaran, so it's not too rough of a ride.
No, that's all nice and tight, isn't it? It's a nice bar as well. It's a nice size.
What is that, like 1 1/8 maybe?
Yeah, something like that. It's at least 1 inch, isn't it? Nice short drop links as well. Yeah, I mean all of this, the top mount as well, that whole top mount and the bracket and the setup that it goes on there is great.
Yeah, it's pretty clever because it doesn't burden the shock tower with it like people do in the Mustang world.
Well, that's where your shock goes, that hole.
Yep.
Normally.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's just a really nice, neat setup. And the fact that it bolts on is just lovely, isn't it?
Are you getting used to the transmission with the manual shift?
Yeah, I can go with that. That's all right. That's not a problem.
It's just nice that you don't have the danger of accidentally slipping into neutral because of the reverse valve body going in the opposite order.
Yes. Yeah. So overall, yeah, that's really nice.
Still gives you a little old school rattle when you're driving it because there's little bits and bobs moving around, but
that's the car itself.
It corners nice.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, it's surprising, I must admit. So right on your box, what is the box? Do you know?
Yeah, it's a 727.
It is it?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, get away.
So it's been rebuilt with a 3-speed. You know, the final gear on this car is 3 to 0 because you have so much torque. You'd rather have that low RPM on a 3-speed at the highway.
Get away.
Yeah.
Well, that's funny because there's a 727 in Jensen.
Oh, okay. Yeah, of course there is.
I didn't recognise it at first.
Yeah, that's your Chrysler world.
Yeah, exactly. So, what sort of torque converter have we got on here?
I think it might be 2800.
Okay. Give me a second.
No, go right ahead. This thing was built to handle 1,000 horsepower. Yeah. And the 727s are really nice because there's a very easy bolt up to the new 6.2.
Oh, really?
So it's all sorted out.
I didn't see any adapter. So that's my box, that's my Jensen. Is it? Effectively, yeah. 727 torque flight with obviously a different arse end on. Right, okay. And again, you know, got a nice bolt-on crossmember mount.
Yeah, that cradle's good, isn't it?
It is a good one, I like that. And they've even thought about mounting the exhaust on it as well, so yeah, that's all good.
Because people come up with all kinds of solutions usually, don't they, to tack things on somewhere?
Usually a bit messy.
Yeah.
I mean, some thought's gone into it. It's again, you know, it's a bolt-on part. It's great, and you know, you've got the polyurethane bushes as well. So
yeah, and the wiring loom goes through the chassis and seamless.
Yeah,
brake pipes. That's nice and neat.
Yeah, they tried to keep it tidy down here.
Is where the torsion bar used to go, see?
Oh, yes. I know.
There you go.
All the way up to the front.
Yeah, all the way down there. Have you ever done torsion bars, Dan?
No.
I'll educate you on that.
Not yet.
Yeah,
it's basically chopsticks for cars.
It's quite interesting, yeah. Basic, but it works. Bit like an anti-roll bar, it's relying on twisting of steel.
Yeah,
nice X pipe as well.
Oh, yes. You want to talk about that? That's a funny bit.
Whose is it? Just as pipes.
Yeah, PYP.
Yeah, that's right.
That's the company. But it's funny because it has in it that little remote where you can turn it into a Y pipe if the drone of the X pipe is getting you and it's too loud. So it'll shut down one of its chambers, and then where is that shut down? I can't see it because it has to be electric.
Yeah. There's one over.
There's a valve or solenoid.
Oh, that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this one will close off, so it'll run on just the one. Then that's what you're saying.
Exactly. Yeah. And it does change the drone a bit if you're getting, you know, kind of fatigued from the
noise.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that is nice, I must admit.
Then you got the emergency brake coming back through here.
Well, again, you see, these are usually awful because they usually stretch across the belly pan and across the chassis as well. So that's nice. He's come through. I think that's a standard point there, isn't it? That's where it comes out from the pedal. Yeah, nice block, nice mount, proper cables as well. Yeah.
I too am surprised by the leaf springs being back here. What do you think when you drive it?
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. It's that anti-roll bar that's keeping it down.
Yeah, and that's the good or bad unbelievable?
Oh, it's good unbelievable. It's just,
I just want to check.
That is good unbelievable. And obviously that axle, I mean, I haven't got a clue what that axle is or what they've done.
Strange Engineering built that.
It's just something else, it is.
Completely so.
And as I said, it's got a 3 to 0 ratio in the final gear in the end, so that it maintains low RPM on the freeway, because you don't need this, because it's a supercharger and not a turbocharger. It makes torque immediately.
Yeah, exactly.
So you don't need a 411 back here.
That's odd, but it's still got rippers on the back there and on the top. Not that it makes a lot of difference. Not that it's a worry. We've got access holes to take the top pin of the orange bung.
Oh,
take the bolt out of the top shocker.
That's thoughtful,
so
isn't
thought
it?
About that as well.
And they didn't gum it up with all the truck bed liner under here.
Exactly.
And you can see even the wheel wells are done in the truck bed liner.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's all done all the way through. And, you know, even a custom exhaust bracket is just brilliant.
It's quite nice, actually, isn't it?
When you have it all apart, it makes a lot more sense to do it then than it does to try to Dimitrol it afterwards.
Exactly.
Nice alley tank, isn't it? Here's alley, yeah.
Yeah.
It's strapped on nicely. Yeah, again, it's got braided lines coming out of there, so.
Lovely tailpipes on it.
You like that?
Yeah,
I do like that, yeah.
Yeah, I think it really only needed the one, but the two look cooler.
Yeah.
This twin square thing looks the part.
It does, doesn't it? How it
It's
fits
Mopar.
in
It
with
is.
that little.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. So we found the OBD2 port under the dash.
Oh, you have you?
Yeah. That's nice.
That's a nice fuel pressure regulator.
And the size of the intake.
Yeah, I saw the filter from underneath as well. As you can see the filter. So.
Stretch out.
Got to step up.
Yeah.
Oh, we got a Mopar badge at last! Yay!
And my belts though.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Mopar.
That's cool.
Mopar or no car?
Wow. Do we know what stage 3 stands for then?
I think it stands for the sticker because they left the motor stock, but usually B. Woody is the people you go to when you want to soup this stuff up, and I asked to have them leave it as it was, but they somehow stuck their sticker on it anyway.
Right, okay.
But this is making the factory 707. Those guys, when they're done with it, it's in the 900s.
Yeah.
Okay, still got a classic. Wash
Yeah,
it
but that's
back.
classic. That's your Challenger stock kit, I expect.
So I was just explaining to Dan how the Hydrotech works and why they came up with it. Have you ever seen one?
No,
You know what it is?
not really.
All right. So when you get a motor like this, you don't make vacuum anymore.
Right.
Old school vacuum is how you powered brakes and other little accessories, right?
Yeah.
With those weird vacuum canisters and the tubes and all that. In the absence of that, your brake system doesn't really have much to work with. Fortunately, if you buy a motor like this, you get it with all of the accessories in the pulley system, and so you have power steering. The power steering feeds the booster for the brakes under the hydraulic pressure.
Oh, I didn't know that actually.
And so every time you have somebody doing a kind of restomod, they have to ask themselves, how am I going to get my power brakes going? And the answer actually came from diesel engines.
Oh,
They figured this out first because they needed it.
Right. That's a new one on me, that.
Yeah, that's all right. So then it makes for a nice off-the-shelf part that you can get. That's great. And in my listing on the market, it just doesn't show this because this was installed after the car came over here. That should have always been on it.
Right.
I'm not sure what those guys were thinking, how I was supposed to stop 707 horsepower without it.
Exactly.
See how they've upped the diameter of the
Say the size of that
intake?
air filter on the box.
I got like a normal dude size hand, don't I?
Exactly. That is mental, yeah.
All right. Someone who's going to take on a car of this age and with this many changes in it really needs to see how it was put together.
Yeah, of course, yeah. That's fair enough.
But it really does want to fit in there, doesn't it?
It does, doesn't it? It does fit nicely as well, doesn't it?
Yeah, I mean, all the coils and everything are still accessible.
Exactly, everything is literally in there. Like you'd think putting a motor like this in there, you won't be able to get to the belt, any of the tensioners, idlers, anything.
The nice thing is it's only 6.2 liters.
Yeah.
for Mopar, that's small.
What's the original size?
Okay, so this one came with a 318, so that'd be like 5.1 or 2.
Right, so
But it was a gutless 318 that they had going back at that time.
right.
And so no one feels bad by 74 of messing with a car like this. But if it was a 70 or 71, it might have had a 426 Hemi, it might have had the 440.
Yes.
And you wouldn't want to mess with that. Take care.